And finally, we are back, Kompositorium Kafee, if I can call it like this. So today we are going to speak about the father, the founder, the god, the superstar, the Superman, the hyper mega epic composer Hans Zimmer, listed next to one of the greatest and most virtuous person of our century, the Osama bin Laden, as a genius. So both were, at least in 2007, the living genius of our world. Is this my opinion? No. It is the opinion of this article of the Telegraph that we are going to investigate today. Let's go. Hey ho. Hans Zimmer was named one of the Daily Telegraph's top 100 living geniuses in 2007 due to his revolutionary approach to film scoring, which blends electronic music with orchestral arrangements without formal classical training. So this is probably the criteria. His career has resulted in numerous acclaimed scores for films like The Lion King, where the most important song was actually composed by Elton John. By the way, beautiful song. Gladiator, The Dark Knight, that shows the fascinating technique of the string ostinatos everywhere, more than Vivaldi, and Interstellar, earning him 2 Oscars, 4 Grammys, and multiple other accolades. What is interesting here is that probably his best soundtrack, The Dune, is not here. And things he did in the fashion of the 18th. Who is going to speak about this? Anyways, where I think he did something that it is more appropriate for his level of craftsmanship. Anyways, okay, revolutionary style. Interesting. So even Stravinsky didn't call himself revolutionary. Do you know this? So now you are knowing this because you follow my channel. You can ask me for source on my Patreon, okay, on chat. I don't have the source for everything, but for a lot of things that I say. Acclaimed works, his most famous scores, etc. Okay, Dune is there. Recognition, he was... Okay, so here's the list. The most fascinating aspect of the list is... What the hell is going on? Who is Osama bin Laden? Perhaps if you are new, you don't know. So, something fascinating that we can do today is to go into Google, put the name of some important persons, and read about them. So, Osama bin Laden ist ein radikales islamistischer Terroristenführer. So he was a terrorist. This is very interesting, no? So he was one of the suspects of planning the Terroranschlag, so the terrorist attacks on 11 September. Okay. That, by the way, was announced before the attack, okay? Do you know how this was done? So the Rockefeller told this in an interview to a Hollywood producer. The interview is recorded. The Rockefeller, in a meeting with this Hollywood producer, told him it's going to happen something big like this and this and this in New York. It is very evident the negative context and negative intentions. And this Hollywood producer tells the story of meeting the Rockefeller, and there is a video evidence for this. Anyways, the official narrative is that this guy was behind the attacks, and he was anyways a terrorist, okay, independent of 11 September. It is the attack that for which I composed the music. I composed the requiem for the 11 September. So let me show. So this one here, it's a provisory mock-up. I composed this very fast. I was very in trouble at that time, and still I composed this very fast. So take a listen. Still waiting to be performed, and I did exactly in 11 minutes of music. Okay? So the problem is that I am not a genius. This is my problem. So this person tried to help me organize the concert. It didn't happen because I am not a genius like Hans Zimmer. Then this is a problem. We have to strive and work more, try to be better. But it's hard to beat the level of scam that these people can run on us. Okay, this is a problem. So while you are working, they are building the network scam. I think this would be already fantastic to show the credibility of the list. But let's assume Osama bin Laden has an important theory or whatever that I don't know. Okay. Philosophical method. So let's assume he's someone. Okay. Then you should consider what was the criteria. Okay. So the criteria was the panel used the nominations for a large group of British individuals as their starting point. What is already fantastic, no? Only British individuals. They evaluated each nominee using a set of criteria. And by the way, in the list you have people who would probably say, hey, how is this? Only British people? What a racism. So it's like self-contradictory. Individuals as the starting point. They evaluated each nominee using a set of criteria to determine their score, including paradigm shifting, popular acclaim, intellectual power, achievement, and cultural importance. The goal was to identify and rank the world's 100 most brilliant living minds. So, which level of negative K is this? So what is happening in the world? Why my life is hard and these people have easy? These morons. So why is this? I just ask myself why your life is hard and the life of these people is easy. So they think you are stupid. So the nominees, they are only British people. Only British people. But the goal was to identify the rank of the world's 100 most living minds based on the diverse contributions and impact they had made. Probably someone saw the problem of this list. Okay. This exactly he's doing exactly what I am doing here. So I can already imagine that the guy found the same BS. So let's skip this to the end. So basically, they are kidding with us. Now, so you select only British people, but the goal is to see the world's ranking. More about the ranking: the Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, ranked number 4 in the list of living geniuses. British geniuses feature heavily in the top creator Synetics, a global consultants firm. And this is the Telegraph transcript. So if you don't trust the AI, the company emailed 4,000 Britons, so amazing number, this summer, and asked them to nominate up to 10 living people who they considered geniuses. So fascinating, rigorous method, no? So popular voting. This is the problem of democracy, no? The democracy, when you don't have the basis on the aristoi, so on an elite that cultivates the loves for wisdom, is absolutely lost. Each genius was then awarded scores out of the 10 against. Okay, so then we have the list here. Now I just wonder how we came, anyways, to Osama bin Laden. So this means by popular voting, Osama bin Laden is elected. Now we have the explanation. So because we have a lot of Muslims in England, no? I mean, not a lot, but almost the whole country now. So now you get the claim, now the clue. Now you get the clue. Okay. I am a foreigner here. I am absolutely cosmopolitan. I am absolutely multicultural as a Brazilian person. Okay. What I am against is about a monocultural invasion decided by elites, not democratic, using the fear of people and the pain of people. Because if you are in a country with problems, of course you want to live, etc., and it's normal. And if you are in a war situation, I think you should leave. I think you should seek for a better country. So the thing in Syria was bad, so they came here. So then they do good kebabs. So in this level, there is nothing wrong. But the problem, there is a even manipulation of politics towards different goals. This is the problem, and here's the consequence. And now it's hard to send an individual back home because, of course, the guy has friends, etc., and then it's bad for the individual. And I know this because I taught many people from Iran and many other cultures, and I know how it is. So the person in front of you is another thing, and how to solve this problem. Because they want the division, they want the shock, they want the collision. And this is a very important symptom to observe. So Osama. So this is the list in which Hans Zimmer is in. Now, let's understand. So he's in this list. Now let's understand if this list has impact in his career and his marketing style. Then I have here animated views. Composer Hans Zimmer and ELM Dennis 2018. Composer Hans Zimmer. So Hans Zimmer received Academy Award for Lion King, Golden Globe, so Gladiator, Crimson Tide, Dark Knight, Stephen Hawking Medal for Interstellar, and has more than 100 other awards and 231 nominations. So he's certainly better than me because I have just 2 humble awards that I still have to think how big is the importance. He has 100. He has 100. Probably the Golden Dog of Luxembourg, the Bird of Diamond from Netherlands medal and our awards, but my award is still important. It's still not a composing a Discord competition award. At least it is a record label. Anyways. But he's a genius. I am not. And you are not. Including a Tony Award nomination. And a nomination for Film Composer of the Year. Okay. Film Composer of the Year. Okay. Yes. He's in the limelight. So I do observe, I don't even speak about he being bad composer. Notice this. This will be another investigation. So investigating the people who set him in a certain artistic status, and now I am going to investigate how he takes profit of this or not. He made the Daily Telegraph's list of the top 100 living geniuses in 2007. So this is mentioned to boost his career. Okay. And here you see how things start to be a problem. There is also in the quota, someone asked, why is Hans Zimmer listed as one of the top 100 living geniuses? Then someone answered, Hans Zimmer never had any formal training in music. Then he's a genius because of this. So then Paul McCartney, Jimi Hendrix. So the condition to be a genius would be almost like to not have formal training in music. This is why we have things like the University Mozarteum in Salzburg that it's probably richer than the whole city of Salzburg together. This is why people invest in musical education, to achieve the status of someone who has no formal training. This is in a way made him experiment a lot. Okay, I won't even lose my time with you. Then some people, they had the mind still working and had some important answers. Then of course he gets his basic downvote, and probably he risks his account already to be banned if he tells the truth, something like this. Now this is a thing because it is really influential, and if this is not the decisive factor of calling him a genius, what has become very frequent, this is a very important factor, at least. Okay, so this is a very, very, very important factor. So if we put where Hans Zimmer is a genius is subjective, but his prolific and influence. Hey. Man, I am the first entry here. So he's praised for his unique approach. Okay, but this comes already in the first thing. Okay, Hans Zimmer is a genius. So you see that AI puts him in the first ranking, quoting the Telegraph ranking. So then we can confirm that this has a very displays a very decisive role in the shaping of our opinion about him. I am really under the impression at this point that everything Hans Zimmer writes is pretty much perfect. The fact he can invoke such feelings and emotions in each piece is just astonishing. Listening to Final Ascent from James Bond, No Time to Die. Yeah, okay, you might like the guy. I understand this. It's hard to track in detail how this Telegraph ranking shaped the opinion of people, but just by this result here, and by the article that I quoted, this one, you can have an idea of how this has already a big influence and is a big component in his genius status. Now, what is concerning about the criteria used to create this list is that in no moment there is any mention of what is actually to be considered as genius or not, or like the philosophical background. So this is absolutely not important. And what is important is the use of the word genius as the highest artistic status. This is what is important for me. So the concept of genius is problematic, and it's very interesting. This we learn in my philosophy for composers. Now, what is evident, however, is that genius is used as the highest artistic qualificator. Think about this. It's the highest artistic qualifying or qualificator. So what is above genius? Do you understand? And this is the problem. Another problem is that no one considers other candidates. This is very evident here. So you have many other interesting candidates, principally in the music. But as we know, this is a popular thing, so there is no discussion. But for example, just to open your mind a little bit. I won't even compare the Hans Zimmer with the classic composer. I don't know if I'm gonna waste my time. But the Malmsteen. So why he's considered a genius of the guitar? No one puts him even above John Williams. You get the point? Because the people who like Malmsteen, they have a little bit a clue about music. So they have a clue about music. So let's do the most basic thing here for you. See they have a clue about music, and let's see. So he's a genius of the guitar. So what did Malmsteen did? So he raised the bar of virtuosity. So he created different techniques. So sweep, picking, the tapping he developed more. So there was also the Van Halen. Van Halen also genius of guitar. So these people who created the new guitar techniques. This is genius. Because what is the artistic status beyond this? Do you understand? So when Josquin de Pré composed a 6-part motet, this is and still make beautiful music out of this. So these things, they are work of a genius, because it is hard to go above in this category. So they deserve the highest artistic qualificator. So this would be one criteria, just to mention here the most superficial concept of genius. more superficial definition. But let's say you don't like the Malmsteen, okay? Hermeto Pascoal. So he composed one music for each day of the year. Okay. He also started with no formal training, but at least he has the honor as a musician to learn how to write his music, and then he learned how to write his music. But as he said, he can't explain nothing of his harmony exactly. He can't explain exactly how he does the thing. This is what I criticize, that the people who don't study the thing, they can't bring this tradition forward. So now they will need a moron like me, who is not a genius, to try to figure out what this crazy old man did here, because he does insane things, very interesting on piano. Okay, so check out this. The problem is there is not even the consideration of these people. So these people are absolutely discriminated, while what we know is the commercial success of Hans Zimmer. Okay, this is what we know as an evidence. So he has a very opulent studio, of course. By the way, it's a cool taste. It looks a little bit like a nightclub where you see naked girls. Why? Do you know? See? But also in this nightclub, they also have good taste, no? For men, like to be like attract things with money, the best perfume, best clothes. So this Don Juan, the Don Juan spirit, okay? So very Don Juan design, but it's very inspiring place. By the way, not different than the Steve Vai atmosphere. But the Steve Vai is a very humble man. So his studio oh man, a lot of guitars. Okay, guitarists, they love guitars, but anyways, it's kind of humble. So it's like a cozy place. So this is the Steve Vai. And if you ask me who is more genius here, of course it's Steve Vai. He's not even the least, because he's not British. He doesn't has this quality. The virtue of being British. The virtue of being a Muslim British, okay? The interesting thing is that they are proud about this. So British brains dominate list of living geniuses. Of course, because you are just asking the British population. Of course, my friend. Here in Europe, people are very nationalist. So if we ask the Austrian, they are going to search the Austrian people first. There is the Paul McCartney, and there is also our awesome Bill Gates, of course. No, how he could be left, and there is the minimalist, the Philip Glass. We can discuss the Philip Glass. So, but then why not the Aaron Path, etc. Okay, so this is popular opinion. So I won't waste my time with this. What we care about is that this helps the raise the status of Hans Zimmer beyond the artistic and aesthetic rigor, and he takes a financial profit out of this. And so far as I know, I don't know which is his opinion about this. So this is why the inquiry is not about the person Hans Zimmer exactly, beyond his taste for cozy music studio. The critic here is people around him and how this an opinion is manufactured. Now, the Hans Zimmer, however, he, as I say, so 34 billion. So he's one of the composers. He's the composer that earned he earns more than the John Williams. Okay, so richest composer. I saw this ranking. Oh, actually, he's not anymore. Good. Hans Zimmer, Oda Notable. But he's more than John Williams. The Danny Elfman. So you are forced to consent today. So, Giacchino. Now the $200 million in this number given by this article here. 300 million. Okay, so I was wrong. I saw in another ranking. I saw in the last year, and I remember very well. Hans Zimmer was beyond the John Williams. Does this matter? Yes, it is a matter. Not the fact that who earns the most exactly, but how the money is spent. Now, the thing with Hans Zimmer, he created a company and a system that multiply his own musical style. And here is where I want to relate with his money issue, because who cares? So John Williams earns more, he less. I still find it very important, because see, Hans Zimmer John Williams had to do everything that he did in order to earn almost like what Hans Zimmer earns. Okay, anyways, but leaving this aside, he has the capital to create a company and influence and create this biosphere of composer. What is cool? So he really helped composers. So he brought people here from Slovenia to Hollywood, etc. And this is okay. Now the problem is the musical consequence of this, when this is set as the highest artistic qualifier under the idea of genius, so the highest qualifier possible. Okay, so then this sets this type of music as the highest standard. Do you understand my reasoning? This is the problem. I am not speaking about his music intrinsically yet. I could do this. I am not doing a music theoretical argument here, not even properly aesthetic. So this is like a social cultural argument still. It's like a social cultural perspective of art. So here you have let's say an overview of how these things are being played out. So with this whole financial influence and also this very smart insight of creating this remote control company and such things, of course he is one of the most influential composers. Okay, another factor, he got one of the best jigs. We can investigate how he came there, but to have the best jigs does not mean that you are a genius. Do you understand the thing? So you get the best jig, you do music that is okay, and then this okay music starts to be mega influential, and now you are the genius. This means now you are in the highest artistic standard of your own time. Is really this. Think about it. The musical criticism is a little bit harder because you just can't say, he uses DAW, then his music is bad. It's not like this. He uses ostinato, his music is bad. Not exactly like this. He uses sound design and whatever, and tonal music is bad. It's not like this, because you still can do good music with this. Another problem is how his music fits to movie. Here would be his best argument. So this I'm gonna leave later for a video trying to save Hans Zimmer. No, really trying to see which is his best. Until now, the best thing that I truly learned from Hans Zimmer, in the sense that I remembered, is, and he said that there are no bad samples. So there is the sample that you use in the wrong way in the bad time. I think this is a very important insight, and it came very well with the way that I was approaching MIDI mockup. And this is something that is good to remember, and perhaps we can assign this as a very not original quote, perhaps another people said, but I think it's something that fits to his musical perspective. So it's would be a powerful thought that is nice to remember. And actually, the Hans Zimmerists, so the Hans Zimmer fanatics who compose music, they ignore this quote of the Hans Zimmer. So the most interesting part is also to analyze the contradiction between some things Hans Zimmer said and the people around. Not the assistants, because the assistants, they are very different. They have very different. So John Paul has very good craftsmanship. Tom Hockenborg tried to work more and find out. So there are many people. It's different. Now, what happens is that many things Hans Zimmer say is very easy to say in interview, so it doesn't reflect exactly the music, and even so, it contradicts what other people get from him. So even his best statements, I think some people don't take seriously. So this statement of there is no bad sample, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So it enables. For example, if you use a very old contact library, you can still use it. You get the point? So it has very interesting consequences. But of course, if you use an old contact library today in a new Batman movie, how are you going to do this? Only with a kind of new musical style. But this commercial functionalism will not allow you to try different sonorities and musical styles. This commercial functionalism wants Hans Zimmer as the highest standard of music. So this is a kind of, this is a shadow and a phantasm, a ghost that goes beyond himself, beyond his own idea about himself, perhaps. But I assume that he enjoys this aura around, and why not? Everyone is talking good about you, but we have a problem also of intellectual and artistical integrity at some point. And this is a harder judgment, but it is very opportune to think if he is deserving a negation of this list. Okay? So if I were in this list, I would say, please take me out of this list. I don't want to be next to Osama bin Laden. Or leave this list there, but I'm gonna say this list is absolutely not important. Don't take it seriously. But this is not what happened. This is the problem. This list is used to push the genius narrative as the highest qualifier. Now, who did this? We have a philosopher who, let me find this here. We have a philosopher that actually did this. So, Bayer was the only New Zealander to be included in a list of the top 100 living geniuses in the world, a list made by British people, published by the British newspaper The Daily Telegraph in October 2007, one of the most influential newspapers. The criteria used for scoring were based on paradigm shifting, popular acclaim, intellectual power, achievement, and cultural importance. Okay, this is a very low criteria, but I understand so. But for genius, this is still fragile criteria. But my argumentation here is that even under this criteria, these people do not acclaim the list does not fit this criteria, because Osama bin Laden, okay, he is a paradigm shift, but a negative thing, and negative is a positive qualifier. Okay, so it's very misleading. So Anton LaFey is a genius then, so the father of the Church of Satan. He is also paradigm shifting, and paradigm shifting many people are. So Ozzy Osbourne was paradigm shifting. And Bayer says she knew nothing about the list until a Christchurch journalist phoned her. I thought it was a rather silly list. In the course of a professional career, one comes to have a pretty fair sense of who are the greatest philosophers, and I hadn't seen myself in that group at all. So she puts himself out of the list. So Plato was really my main enthusiasm when I won a government scholarship to Oxford, but I went on to study both Plato and Hume for the Oxford degree. So the same government that likes the Daily Telegraph. So what amazing cultural standards we have today. Now, this is, I think, the end of the tunnel. So even the genius elected by the genius list rejected the list. By the way, she has the good taste to admire Plato and Hume. Why not? So I think this way we can end this discussion and ask. I'm gonna ask you. So, does Hans Zimmer owns something? So, is he owning us like a statement? So, I don't belong to this list, etc. Because if he is silent about this, it means he consent with this type of low rigor election, what would not fit with the genius qualifier. So if you are really a genius in any sense of the word, would you really use this list for your own profit and and in marketing, after you have Oscars and everything, this is a question. Now, if Hans Zimmer himself, if he used this list to promote himself, I think this is out of question. I think not, because I think Hans Zimmer has more to do, and people do for him. So it's as a social cultural perspective, the personal perspectives are a little bit different, okay? Because we as artists, we all know we do everything that we can to get more gigs and the best projects, no? And sometimes you're gonna think like this. Okay, you think I am a genius. Okay, I will keep going. So then I leave you this this question. Comment and see you next time. Thanks very much. By the way, hit the bell and share to the correct people. And again, watch my video on where I speak about modal clauses, so epic music topic in classical sense, the modernist epic music. And this video got absolutely damned by the demons. I wanted to save a backup of the video, and I recorded twice at the same time. Exactly, this was a very stupid decision, of course, because then it started to freeze the screen. And as you know, I recorded my lessons live, for you have really the feeling how it is to learn with me. And so I got problems, but the audio is perfect. So if you listen carefully, it's a very, very nice lesson to pay attention to. Please help the independent research in music and music theory by watching the whole video and eventually giving also super thanks. So see you later. Ciao, ciao.